We usually think of pain as the hardest part of trauma or depression. But sometimes the hardest thing isn't feeling too much, it's feeling nothing at all. That's called emotional numbing. It's the brain's way of saying, this is too much to handle, so we're going to go ahead and shut the system down. And while it can keep someone alive in the short term, speaking survival mode, over time, it can make life feel flat, disconnected, and empty. So, what does emotional numbing look like? It might be someone who just went through a breakup or a death in the family. And instead of crying, they feel nothing. They can tell you logically what happened, but the emotions don't land. Or it could be a trauma survivor who, instead of feeling the sadness, anger, or fear, just feels blank. They go through the motions of life, work, school, parenting, but it's like they're watching it from behind glass. Sometimes it shows up as not being able to feel joy, even in good moments, like a kid's birthday party, a promotion at work, a wedding. And the person is smiling because they know they're supposed to. They're masking, but inside, there's just emptiness. Let's talk about what's happening under the surface. When the brain is overwhelmed by stress, the amygdala, which is the part that processes threat and fear, goes into overdrive. The body gets flooded with stress hormones like cortisol. At a certain point, the system says, this is unsustainable. So, the brain starts dampening emotional responses through the prefrontal cortex. In simple terms, it shuts down the feeling circuits to keep you from getting overwhelmed. Think of it like an electrical breaker switch. If the system is overloaded, it flips off so you don't burn out completely. Over time, though, that survival switch can get stuck. The brain keeps you in low emotion mode even when the danger is gone. And here's the paradox. Emotional numbing works. In the middle of a crisis, it can help someone keep functioning. Individuals like soldiers, doctors, first responders, even just kids growing up in chaos, they can get through the moment because their feelings are muted. But the cost is that when you shut out the pain, you also shut out the joy. If you have no feeling at all, yeah, you're not feeling bad feelings, but you're not feeling good feelings or happy feelings either. The highs, the laughter, the warmth, those get blunted too. People often say they don't feel alive anymore. They don't feel present in their own life. They're surviving, but not really living. The everyday impact that this can have on someone, an example could be someone is eating dinner with friends, but feels like they're watching a movie of themselves instead of being there because it just feels distant from them. Maybe a parent hugs their child, but can't really access that feeling of joy they think they should be feeling in that moment. Or maybe someone sits in therapy and says, I know I should be crying about this, but there are no tears. So, how do you start thawing out when you've gone numb, right? Well, start with safe environments. The brain has to believe the danger has passed before it will let emotions turn back on. Safety comes first. I have a cold, by the way. I know my nose is stuffy. Anyway. Body-based work is super important because somatic therapies, grounding techniques, and movement can help reconnect the mind and body so emotions can start to flow again and stop being stagnant. There's also gradual exposure, which is letting yourself feel small doses of emotion in safe spaces so the brain learns it won't destroy you. And of course, therapy, especially trauma-focused approaches like EMDR or somatic experiencing, which target the root cause. But here's what I want you to remember. Emotional numbing isn't weakness. It's proof of how hard your brain fought to protect you. It turned down the volume so you could tolerate life and you could survive. But survival isn't the end of the story, and it's not the goal. Healing means slowly learning to feel again, not just the pain, but also the joy, the connection, and the aliveness you deserve. Always thank you for being here today. I'll see you next time.